When I read The Dirt Merchants, it really took me back to my youth. The Dirt Merchants is based on the author's true story, Henning Morales, who all he ever wanted to do was be a baseball player growing up, and then the injury that derailed that took him to a place of feeling lost and confused and conflicted. The disempowering choices he made that got him into trouble, and then those defining moments that really changed his life round in a positive and different direction. And of course, he's weaving those life lessons into his writing and also the feature film based on that book that's coming out shortly called Rebelistic. So when I went back into my own days of youth as I was reading the book, it made me realize that whilst the language of today has changed, what hasn't changed are the underlying conflicts. So for me, for example, it was being bullied for the colour of my skin at school, domestic violence at home, having a natural love and talent from the day I was born for football. And as a female growing up in an Asian cultural background, that was something that was not encouraged. In fact, it was suppressed. And you certainly weren't allowed to talk about your problems outside the family. So my conflicts were within and they were around me all the time. And when I read this book, I loved the way that it emphasized the person you become, your attitude to life, that way of being, not just the status and the achievement of things. And I imagine if I had this when I was growing up and struggling with my own problems, it would have impacted me in two or three ways that would have changed my path from the one of definite self loathing that I went down and the many years of healing thereafter. It would have broken that sense of isolation I felt, that I was all alone struggling with my problems. And secondly, it would have enabled me to know there were more choices available to me than the ones I thought I had at the time. And most importantly, would have enabled me to know that there were other people that had not only gone this journey and overcome their conflicts, but had acquired the skills to help people like me. So, whether you're a youth or somebody who cares about youth, I really encourage you to grab a copy of this book and watch the feature film and extract your own wisdom from what you read and what you see, because I truly believe that this is something that can help youth to lead a more positive, empowered, and inspired life at an earlier point rather than to wait till they get to their adulthood and then having to undo all those conflicts that they didn't resolve successfully. And in the meantime, I'm really grateful to people like Henning for being so willing to open and share their knowledge and wisdom so that youth can have a better future and a more inspired future moving forwards.